This video is going to go over the FTDI programming circuitry for my FPGA development board. Basically what this FTDI chip does is that it takes in the diff pair connection from the USB-C port. It takes that as an input and it outputs JTAG on this channel and UART on this channel. Now if you want something else, unfortunately that's not possible, because I mean if you're using this for a Xilinx board like I am, you're basically stuck with this configuration. That's because for this chip to show up in Vivado, I mean the hardware manager, or the board to show up in general, you would have to use something called Program FTDI, which is a utility from Xilinx. Basically what it does is that it writes to the internal EEPROM of this chip so that it shows up in Vivado, and it also configures these channels and a bunch of other things that I'm going to mention in a second. So it does the configuration. As I said, first channel is JTAG and the rest are UART, no matter how many channels are there, because there are other FTDI chips with more than 2 channels. Actually, there's only one with more than 2 channels. These are the supported chips, and this is the documentation for the FTDI device programming. Basically, it tells you to use the Program FTDI utility, which comes installed with Vivado, and you can also access it from your files, just as an executable. And basically to program this so that it works with Vivado hardware manager, you just plug your USB device and you run this command. None of any of this matters except the chip number, the type of the chip. If it's the FT2232, which is the one I'm using and the one most, let's say, second party like Digilent and companies like that use. Also FT232 works. These are usually on just the programmers themselves, the external programmers, like these ones. As you can see, the official programmers actually use the same chip. So yeah, basically you run this program FTDI. You can even run it from Vivado, from the technical console. You type XX space program this command, and make sure to select the appropriate chip. And as I said, the first channel is always going to be JTAG and the rest are going to be UART. This is also how it is set up on official Xilinx boards that use this chip. And actually, this is contrary to what the documentation says. The documentation says that you can configure the channels however you like after you use the Program FTDI utility, but actually that's not the case. ftprog is the utility from FTDI, and if you use it, as far as I know, and I haven't tried, it erases the configuration, and this is not going to work with Vivado anymore unless you program it again with a Program FTDI. So what this Program FTDI also does is that it sets these pins, AD bus 4, 5, and 6, as such, VCU1, blah blah blah. And I think these are used on the official programmers, the official Xilinx cables, and the Digilent HS3, HS2. I think both of these also implement some type of extra features. These are not really needed. Actually, on the Pynq Z2 board, if you open the schematics, these just are not connected at all. They just use these. And something important to mention, the program FTDI utility was not public. You had to license it from AMD or from Xilinx or whatever, and only pretty much corporations had access to that. But now you can just use the program FTDI and create your own programmer. Basically, you can even use an external programmer with any of these chips, and you don't need to buy the HS programmers, which cost like $60, or the AMD ones, which cost like 200, 300 or whatever. So that's nice. I literally just bought a few days ago an FT2232 breakout board, and I programmed it and used it as a programmer. It costs like $5. So that's nice. And actually, I think I'm gonna create a video on that topic as well. So moving on to the circuitry, as I said, USB goes in, and I'm gonna explain everything here. JTAG UART goes out to the FPGA and the header pins there, but I'm gonna get to that. The USB pins go into this